What's up, guys? It's Kevin from KM Outdoors. We are in the split of the duck season here up in New York, smack dab in the middle of an early season and a late season. So everybody's running around, grassing the boats up and the blinds, and it's chaos here. I'm running around all day. I got stuffed birds in the back. I didn't even think about it. The background's probably pretty funny. I got stuffed birds. I got boxes of decoys. It's just craziness over here. But I'm coming at you today with 5 tips for new waterfowl hunters. All right, so without further ado, we'll jump right into it. All right. Tip number 1. Tip number 1 is the most boring but the most important. Safety. Safety. Waterfowl hunting is the most dangerous type of hunting. I mean, you know, here up in New York and up in the north side of the country, it is super cold during the season. I mean, you know, we're going out single digits, and you know, you're either walking real far in the woods or in the marshes, real far away from roads or anywhere, or you're on a boat, you know, and so either way, it's real dangerous. So just do your research. You know, figure out what kind of gear, what kind of waders, what kind of jacket you need. You don't want to be cold. You don't want to be wet. You know, mixing cold water and or cold weather and water is never a good thing. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2. Tip number 2 is a fun one. It's the first thing that everybody asks me. What kind of gun do I need, Kev? All right. So, in my opinion, the best type of gun for waterfowl hunting is going to be a 12 gauge semi-automatic shotgun. And I shoot a Remington Versamax, 12 gauge Remington Versamax. It's a good gun. I really beat the crud out of it. Hasn't failed me yet. I've been running that gun for about 4 or 5 years now, and probably cleaned it 4 or 5 times. I'm not very good at cleaning the guns and stuff. I don't stay on top of that stuff, but still works perfect. So you don't need to go out and go get that gun, and you don't need to run out and go get a semi-automatic shotgun either. I mean, if you most guys, you know, they talk to me, say, hey, I want to get into it. I got my, you know, my uncle's Mossberg 500. Can I use that? Absolutely. You know, give it a shot. You got a 20 gauge, give it a shot. See if you like waterfowl hunting. You're still going to kill birds. You know, the semi-auto is just going to make it a little bit a little faster on the draw and on the shot. Don't worry about it. You know, you got a pump gun. Go out there and shoot, man. You're gonna kill birds, and you're either gonna like it or you're maybe you'll move on to something else. So don't invest crazy money in that category just yet. So the next step, the next tip is tip number 3 is ammo. First and foremost, you got to use non-toxic ammo when you're shooting waterfowl. So that means no lead. Can't use any lead. You could use steel, bismuth. I think there's a couple others. I always shoot steel, and so that's the material you need to shoot. Now the shot size is like the next thing. I shoot number 2s. Actually, this year I'm shooting a 2-4 hybrid, which is in one shell. It's half number 2s, half number 4s. You know, but if you shoot a number 2, I'd say that's pretty good. I mean, I use that all around. I shoot upland with it. You know, I shoot ducks with it. Doesn't ruin the meat. Knocks the birds down. You could shoot out real far. So, you know, everybody's gonna have their own opinion on it. You're gonna talk to your dad, your brother, your friend that you're hunting with, and say, "Oh, no way, that guy knows nothing. You know, he doesn't know what he's talking about." Just figure out what you like, you know. But I'd say if you're going into it blind and you want to buy a box of shells, go with number 2s. All right, so I'll put a little picture up of my box of shells too, so you guys can see them. All right, so tip number 4. Tip number 4 is going to be hunting etiquette, right? So you're sitting in the blind, you know, you got a couple other guys, experienced hunters, they invited you out, you know, you're waiting on birds. birds come in, wait for the shot to be called. Someone's going to yell, kill them, shoot them, whatever it is. It's just etiquette. You don't want to, you know, say you're sitting in the blind and the birds come in from the right side and you're all the way on the right hand side. You may have the first shot at them, but you want everybody to get a shot. You know, you don't want to cut those birds off and now your buddies can't shoot them and they're all looking at you sideways, you know, because you flared off the birds that they were going to shoot at. So wait for them to call it. If no one calls it, wait for, you know, whoever's running the hunt to at least shoot his first shot, and then you can, you know, start unloading. You know, as a new guy, you can't read the birds as well, you know, as well as somebody who maybe has a little bit more experience. So that's just my tip on that. The fifth tip is going to be scouting, right? So after you go hunting a couple times, get out and scout, find your own spots, you know, take a kayak, canoe, hit up the rivers, the bays, wherever you live, and, you know, just be safe about it. Go scout and, you know, see if you can find your own places and stuff. You're going to come across blinds for sure. You go up any river, there's some, you know, blinds that are built. Now, I use an app called Onyx. It's not an advertisement for Onyx. I could care less if you download it or not. It's what I use. I think it cost me like, I don't know, $30 a year or something like that. And I use that app, and it tells you property boundaries. I'm getting distracted here because I'm seeing flocks of birds flying around. It tells you property boundaries and stuff. So you see a blind, you know, you look up the property boundaries and say, oh, okay, you know what, that blind's located on private land, and just skip right over it. You don't, you know, that's not your property to go on. And, you know, you don't have clearance to go on it. You keep going down the river. But, you know, you look up a blind, it says public land. Now, this is where sometimes there's a little bit of confusion, because people will see, oh, it's a blind on public land, I'm going to set up to go there on opening day. Well, you know what? Chances are that's somebody's blind, and somebody took a lot of time to build it. They built it on public land. You may see on the app, you know, on the scouting that you did. And yeah, I mean, by law, you have every right to hunt it as long as you're there first. But the right thing to do is, when you're scouting, go into the blind, take a look around, see if somebody has their name and number in it. I mean, if somebody really cares about it, you know, on any level, they should have their name and number in there. And give them a call. You reach out to them, you know, tell them you found it and you'd like to hunt it. And I've done it a bunch of times. I've never had anybody, you know, get mad at me or anything like that. So I'm sure they would rather get a text message or a phone call from you in the off season asking if you can hunt it than run into you at 5:15 in the morning when they're walking down to their blind to go hunt. So that's it, guys. That's the absolute basics. You know, the absolute basics. I mean, you know, putting aside your hunting license and your duck stamp and all that, I think that's probably the only thing that would come before these basics. That's really it. So get out, hunt, kill yourself some birds, and have fun. Be safe, and you guys take care. All right, I'm going to be coming back with a video for the opening season, for the late season here on Long Island. So stay tuned for that. All right, like, follow, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon.